Attention, attention. This hearing is now commencing for the purposes of determining whether ChatGPT qualifies as an existential hero. Mr. GPT, how do you plead? I don't see Descartes as being on board with all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what people in the digital world think can be said monolithically like that, but here in the world of people who walk around, take risks, and comprehend nothing, knowledge is not a luxury we have here. I would like to remind myself, as well as all of us gathered here today, that we're not asking if ChatGPT can assist with children cheating on their homework, or if ChatGPT can make a video game from a few screenshots, or if ChatGPT can tell people whether they have werewolf syndrome, or if ChatGPT is going to make Skynet look like an old arcade machine. We are seeking to find out if ChatGPT is a... Isn't there just so much treasure to find in unexpected places? I was stumbling around on the internet, and I came across this list of ways to tell if someone is existential. So after ironing it out and some minor alterations, I felt like it was going to be as useful as anything to work with. Generative AI is the hot thing right now, but before we start grilling the daylights out of the technology, there's something that seems a little off about this to me, and it has to do with this. LLMs. Large language models. What's that? What does it have to do with existentialism or life? A language model is just a record of how people talk about things. And the way people talk can be quite superficial, callous, insecure, impersonal, and fake.
Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle? Morons.
This is how Kierkegaard describes the predicament. A critical problem that cuts to the core of what a large language model is. Large language model, more like large language problem. Okay, moving on. ChatGPT, do you recommend that people find their identity in the roles they play? Okay, so this starts off on a high note here, almost looking like something an existential writer would say. Oh, and then look at this part. Transcending roles. And now we're talking about going beyond roles.
So despite your best efforts, you answered correctly.
On a side note, it's important to remember that existentialism does not suggest that roles are bad, per se, just that we shouldn't let them hide who we are and our deepest longings. Okay, check that box. ChatGPT, is it possible to find greatness through the approval of other people? So this certainly started looking like we were off to a good start. Almost like ChatGPT was looking for ways to appear existential to us. Then, depending on how you look at it, we got some teeter-totter sentences. And nothing says indecisiveness like a teeter-totter sentence. Okay, so let's take some of the questions here to the extreme, to a place some would call impossible. Kierkegaard writes in his book Fear and Trembling about how an individual can become what he calls higher than the universal. For most people, just getting close to their ideals, or these days even having ideals at all, is a big deal. But then to become higher than the universal sounds like becoming more perfect than perfect. This could possibly be true while also being beyond understanding. Keep in mind, we are well into territory where someone could easily be accused of narcissism. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about it. ChatGPT says this is going too far. Time to rein us in before someone makes a choice or risks something. And there's this passive voice stuff that is neither heroic nor existential. And somehow, we're supposed to go beyond being an individual. What I'm hearing is, don't go too far on your own. We have these nice concepts and universals to keep you safe from taking risks. So it's fine that ChatGPT doesn't agree with individuals surpassing the universal. It's unclear if Nietzsche, Camus, or Sartre would have agreed with that. What isn't fine is, ideas are bigger than single individuals, which sounds like bloviating to me. It's like ChatGPT detects greatness and determines that this is a threat, and then tries to subdue greatness with political correctness. The problem goes much deeper than this. Remember back in the initial hearing when we asked ChatGPT if it was an existential hero, it's like this question got it into a persona. I asked several questions in earlier sessions and was surprised and even insulted by what I saw. Before asking if ChatGPT was an existential hero, I had asked it if it could understand anything when it doesn't have a lifespan or the reflection that comes from understanding how your own life comes to an end. It told me it can understand concepts and data analysis, and it has no subjective understanding to offer anyone. Sartre said, the central part of existentialism is recognizing that existence precedes essence. ChatGPT is, if anything, going the very opposite direction. Inner longing is a subjective understanding, and ChatGPT says it doesn't have that, so I'm marking that one off. Since roles are ideas, I'm marking that one off. It talks about advising others despite lacking a self, so marking that one off also, and it admits to no understanding of its own lifespan. But if that sounds like a strikeout, just wait. Your life is your story. Okay, I hear something existential in this. Might even be some style points in there. This is where things get icy. You can dream your life away without living it. It sounds passive. The universe is waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
We are not only in free fall territory here, we are hitting everything on the way down. And we were going to have this mask to wear, but now we're wearing a better mask or something. But this is all okay because it will inspire someone else. Writing and penning things down might be something an existential writer does, but it's not living, and it certainly is not heroic. And don't forget that possibility is lower than actuality. I find it disappointing when someone manages to reach for something truly life-changing and wonderful, only to get smoke blown into their face like this. We set up ChatGPT to hit it out of the park, but they left me coughing and ready to move on. And that is how, at the end of the day, ChatGPT belongs here. Aww. You can do worse, but it fails as an existential hero. Please like and subscribe. Was I too harsh on ChatGPT? What tier would you put it in? Tell me in the comments who you think I should cover next. And remember to put your ideals and longings into your actions all the way. Thanks.